Welcome to Eye on the Tigers News. I'm Abby Garrett.
And I'm Melissa Greco. Thanks for joining us for the news that we've been following for you. Napoli's police said Wednesday the death toll from the quake had reached 4,989. Another 18 were killed on the slopes of Mount Everest, while 61 died in neighboring India, and China's official news agency reported 25 dead in Tibet, putting the total over 5,000. The disaster also injured more than 10,000, police said, and rendered thousands more homeless. The UN says the disaster has affected 8.1 million people, more than a fourth of Nepal's population of 27.8 million, and that 1.4 million need food assistance. Planes carrying food and other supplies have been steadily arriving at Kathmandu small airport, but the aid distribution process remains fairly chaotic, with Nepalese officials having difficulty directing the flow of emergency supplies.
A line of police behind riot shields hurled tear gas canisters and fired pepper balls at as many as 200 protesters Tuesday night to enforce a citywide curfew, imposed after the worst outbreak of rioting in Baltimore since 1968. Demonstrators threw bottles at police and picked up the canisters and hurled them back at officers, but the crowd rapidly dispersed and was down to just a few dozen people within minutes. The clash came after a day of high tension but relative peace in Baltimore, as thousands of police officers and National Guardsmen poured in to try to prevent another round of looting and arson like the one that rocked the city on Monday. It was the first time since the assassination of Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. in 1968 that the National Guard was called out in Baltimore to quell an unrest. The racially charged violence on Monday was set off by the case of Freddie Gray, a 25-year-old black man who died of a spinal cord injury under mysterious circumstances while in police custody.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders will announce his plans to seek the Democratic nomination for president on Thursday, presenting a liberal challenge to Hillary Clinton. Sanders, an independent who describes himself as Democratic Socialist, will follow a statement with a major campaign kickoff in his home state in several weeks. Two people familiar with his announcement spoke to the Associated Press under condition of anonymity to describe internal planning. Sanders will become the second major Democrat in the race, joining Clinton. He has urged the former Secretary of State to speak out strongly about issues related to income inequality and climate change. The former First Lady and New York Senator is viewed as a heavy favorite in the primary and entered the race earlier this month.
A teacher who grabbed and held down a student who had just fired 2 gunshots at his school says his first thought was getting the gun away, and his second thought was for the shooter's well-being. Quote, "I had a conversation with him while I was lying on top of him. I told him we were going to get him some help." End quote. Government and civics teacher Brady Olson told a news conference Tuesday. Olson's quick action might also have spared the student, as a school police officer said he was close to taking a shot at him. Bail was set at $500,000 for the 16-year-old being held in Thurston County in connection with Monday's shooting at a high school in Lacey, Washington, about 60 miles southwest of Seattle.
2 St. Lawrence County teens are accused of hacking into a school's internet website and changing information, police said. The 2 are charged with a felony for third-degree computer tampering, state police said in a new release. Officials said the teens hacked into the Madrid, Washington Central School internet to change grades and delete disciplinary and attendance files.
With a look at a nice upcoming forecast, here's Shannon Corey.
A beautiful day today with temperatures in the mid-60s with bright sunshine. You can't ask for much more, except for this weather pattern to continue. And it will continue. Bright skies and spring-like warmth is on tap for much of the rest of the week and even into the weekend as high pressure dominates the region. We'll finish our Wednesday with bright sun and calm winds. Thursday may turn out even better. Temperatures will approach 70 with a few more clouds coming in for the afternoon. Much the same for Friday with temperatures in the mid-60s. Early indications are for beautiful spring-like weather for both days of the weekend. Sunshine and warm temperatures in the upper 60s look like a good bet. Enjoy the beautiful weather. I'm Shannon Corey.
Yankees fans have to be a little worried this morning. With the reasons why, here's Andrea Ross.
The New York Yankees are on a little hot streak lately. But the good feelings were tempered a little yesterday when they learned their ace pitcher won't be with them for the next month or so. General Manager Brian Cashman said Tuesday night during New York's 4-2 win over Tampa Bay that tests showed no change in Masahiro Tanaka's partially torn elbow ligament. The Japanese star last year chose not to have Tommy John surgery and missed 2.5 months rehabbing the injury. Tanaka is 2-1 with a 3.22 ERA and was superb in his last 2 starts, alleviating fear about the elbow. But he complained of pain in the side of his wrist Tuesday when he arrived at the Yankee Stadium. Even though pitching coach Larry Rothschild said Tanaka's bullpen session between starts was fantastic, according to Cashman. After a pair of postponements caused by rioting in Baltimore, the Orioles and Chicago White Sox will play Wednesday at Camden Yards in what is believed to be the first game without fans in Major League Baseball's 145-season history. Because of the unsettled environment in Baltimore, where rioters burned a drugstore and set police cars ablaze on Monday night, officials moved the game up 5 hours from its original 7:05 p.m. starting time and closed it to the public. In addition, Baltimore's Friday to Sunday series against Tampa Bay was shifted from Camden Yards to Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, with the Orioles remaining the home team and batting last. Although the Orioles won't be performing in front of their fans Wednesday and will lose 3 home games, they understood the situation and had no complaints. The looting and rioting broke out Monday just hours after the funeral of Freddie Gray, a 25-year-old black man who suffered a fatal spinal cord injury while in police custody. A busy day on tap for Mexico sports. The boys and girls track team head to Chittenango for a dual meet. The softball team heads to Fulton for an important league matchup. The baseball team hosts Fulton in an important league game of their own. And the tennis team, after another victory yesterday, is at home for a match this afternoon. The team stands at 5-2 so far this season. And the lacrosse team heads up to Onondaga for a non-league tilt. That's it for sports. I'm Andrea Ross.
Here's Aislinn with a look at what's on the calendar.
The calendar features the upcoming junior prom. The junior prom will take place on Saturday, May 16th from 7 to 11 p.m. at Alexandria's in Oswego, New York. Tickets for the prom are now on sale and may be purchased from Mrs. Harder. The cost of an individual ticket is $60, which includes a dinner buffet. Students may purchase their ticket using their student account. Checks made out to the class of 2016 or cash will be accepted. Tickets will be on sale for 2 weeks. Juniors, please plan on purchasing your ticket by Friday, May 8th. Junior prom guest forms are available from the assistant principal's office. Applications for AVID are now being accepted. Pick up yours from any of the AVID teachers, Mrs. Baldwin, Mr. Deckman, or Mrs. Laverne, or from Mr. Busco's office. Sports physicals will be held here at the high school on May 5th and May 19th. You must see Mrs. Wallace for paperwork or to sign up. This physical will allow you to be eligible to play sports for the entire 2015-2016 year. And finally, any senior wishing to attend the trip to Hershey Park, the entire payment of $170 is due to Mr. Deckman by this Friday, May 1st. With your calendar, I'm Aislinn Foltz. And finally, here's Sarah with our history lesson.
On this day in history, in 1862, New Orleans fell to Union forces during the Civil War. In 1912, the Easter Uprising in Dublin collapsed as Irish nationalists surrendered to British authorities. In 1945, American soldiers liberated the Dachau concentration camp in Germany. In 1992, rioting erupted in Los Angeles after a jury acquitted 4 Los Angeles police officers of almost all charges in the videotaped beating of Rodney King. 54 people were killed. In 1997, a worldwide treaty to ban chemical weapons went into effect. And in 2012, Britain's Prince William and Kate Middleton were married in an opulent ceremony at London's Westminster Abbey. Queen Elizabeth II conferred the titles Duke and Duchess of Cambridge on their grandson and his new wife.
That's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Abby Garrett.
And I'm Melissa Greco. For the staff of Eye on the Tigers, we wish you have a great day and rest of the week.